Do you recognize this? You're at a party, drinking and chatting about non-trivial things. Then one of your friends introduces you to somebody you haven't met before. You exchange names and then they ask you, what do you do? The obvious answer would be, I'm having a good time with some friends at a party, but that's probably not what they meant. No, they want to know, what do you do for a living? I could answer, I'm an interim CTO, but that will likely lead to more questions, and answering those would take time. The time I'd much rather spend on the people around me, so from now on, I'll send them a link to this video. In all seriousness, there are not a lot of people who know what a CTO does. Hey, even most CTOs do not really know what a CTO does. Most assume that a CTO sits in a darkened room, typing away at a keyboard, doing obscure coding, only to come out when there's pizza, or when they think it's time to yell at someone. Well, that might be part of it, but I am here to set the record straight and show you that the yelling is entirely optional. The dark room is debatable, and the bit about coding, well, we'll get to that later. After watching this video, you will understand what a CTO is and what a CTO does. You will see that the CTO's role is multifaceted, meaning that the person fulfilling that role must be a jack of all trades. Maybe you will appreciate the CTO even a bit more. First, let's dissect the acronym. CTO stands for Chief Technology Officer. Officer is just a term, meaning we're somehow responsible for the people in our team. Chief is a way to show that there's no one else to report to. The responsibility stops here. There's no one to report to in our field, and no one to blame if things go wrong. Speaking of the field, that will be technology, which is what the T stands for. Now, there are many other C-level executives, such as the Chief Financial Officer, the Chief Marketing Officer, the Chief Operations Officer, and then there's the CEO, the Chief Executive Officer. And that's the big one, the end boss in the game. Even C-level executives must answer to someone, and which is the CEO. The CEO has a lot on their plate, and it's the role of the other C-level executives to ensure that the plate is only filled with the things the CEO needs to deal with. But the C-level people are on their own regarding their respective fields. So the CTO is end responsible for anything technical. And technical usually means anything IT related. There's also something called a CIO, the Chief Information Officer. They are two separate roles. A CTO focuses on technology strategy and innovations, while a CIO is about information security and strategy. The CTO and CIO will work closely if an organization has both roles. In small organizations, both roles usually are combined. Now, I often consider the CTO as Batman. Make sure that the bad things and bad people in the way of the organization's success do not get a chance. I wonder if a cape would look good on me. Probably not. Okay, so a CTO is more like the head chef of a fancy restaurant. They're both responsible for creating the recipes, sourcing the best ingredients, the right tools, making sure that everything is cooked to perfection. Like a chef, a CTO must have a good sense of taste and timing to ensure the final product is a delicious success. However, unlike a chef, a CTO can't just throw out the dish and start over if something goes wrong. They need to be able to fix the recipe on the fly and make sure the kitchen is running smoothly. And let's not forget that the CTO must also deal with the front of house staff, ensuring they have a good experience and that their orders are being fulfilled promptly. A CTO has a whole lot of tasks. There never seems to be time to focus on one specific one. Everything must be done simultaneously. Hey, but that's part of the appeal for the job. Let's go through some of the most common ones. Research and development, managing the tech team, product development, troubleshooting and problem solving, budgeting and resource allocation, staying up to date with industry standards and trends, security and data privacy, hiring new talent. I have some bad news if you think that sounds like a lot to you. This is just the day-to-day work. Next to this, the CTO must also deal with communicating with the outside world, public speaking, visiting conferences, and much, much more. Now let's see what this all means. The CTO is responsible for researching new technologies and evaluating whether they fit the company's needs. We are in a fast-paced world, especially in the tech world, so this alone could fill your entire day. How can we improve our work? How do all these shiny new technologies work? Can we apply them? These are some of the questions you face every single day. You must have a keen sense of technology and IT to answer those. Hey, you're not alone. You have a team. And the team relies on you to set up their workplace in the broadest sense possible and that they have a good amount of challenging work. They want to feel safe and secure in their workplace. And all of that comes down to you. You are the boss. You are in control. Everything that goes well is because of a great team. Anything that goes wrong is your fault. Deal with it. The product is what it's all about. If you work in a company that sells software, maybe a SaaS or an app, this makes the company money. If your company does something else, it needs IT to do its primary work. So either way, the software you and your team build is vital to the company's survival and profitability. And you must manage that. This means you have to make sure that the requirements are well understood. The product has to be good enough so the company can use it or sell it. The requirements must be met after development. The designs need to be in place. Documentation needs to be in order. Everything that a software development lifecycle prescribes, and yes, that's yours too, needs to be taken care of. And then suddenly things go wrong. The apps go down, the cloud is unreachable, the ping pong table breaks into two pieces, and then they turn to you. You have to fix this. It is vital to keep a clear head and not panic. You must be able to solve these kind of problems. And then, after you've solved them, you need to analyze what went wrong, what the root cause was, and how to prevent this from happening again. Oh, and don't forget to document it all. I guess you're in this job because you want to get paid. Maybe that's not your primary goal, but it still is essential, and that also goes for everybody else on the team. Heck, even outside the company and outside the team, it's all about the US dollar, the euro, or even the Altarian dollar. A company needs to be financially healthy. And since tech is an expensive thing for a company to do, they will look at you to make sure the money spent is money spent well. So you must know about bookkeeping and accounting and budgeting and everything. Because if you don't, they will do it for you and make sure they cut the funding as much as they can get away with. So, you got it all worked out. The tech is working, the team is happy and the products are being sold. And then, suddenly, a competitor comes along and has something much better, running on a much better cloud and using much better frameworks and technologies. Sales drop, customers walk away, and the rest of your company will blame you. You know what? They're right. It's your job to stay current with what's happening, stay on top of the standards and identify new trends so you can assess them and then use those trends if they seem worthwhile. Security is to tech people what spinach is to everybody else. We all know it's healthy and we should consume more, but we don't want it to be a part of our lives. But security these days is essential. You are in charge of a lot of data that could potentially harm your company and your customers. If you fail to protect your digital assets, people will take advantage of it and possibly shut down your company. You need to make sure you do everything you can to have a secure system. Good news, you're not alone, you have a team, but that team changes. Maybe people leave and they need to be replaced. Or perhaps you are growing and need to find new people to join your team. And it comes down to you to ensure you have the organization set up so that people actually want to work there. And you have to make sure you use your network and your communication skills to let others know that really they should join your company. You might have a good HR department, but they usually do not know what kind of people you want. So that comes down to you. Again, I have often stated that I want to have a big company without customers. That would make life so much easier. Unfortunately, that's not realistic. The organization you work in must deal with the outside world. And that means they will often look at you to spread the message, get information and deal with customers, prospects, investors, banks, partners and so on. They all want a slice of your time. You have to be able to communicate with them. Scary thought, right? Speaking of communicating, one of the things I think is very important is spreading your knowledge and vision. You do have a vision, right? Well, go out, get on the stage and tell others about it. First of all, I think spreading your knowledge is beneficial for everyone. I've learned that knowledge is power, and sharing knowledge is even more power. So you need to be able to talk to an audience. Now, that might be 10 people or thousands of people, but you need to get out there and present your ideas to the world. Conferences are another big thing in our tech world. Although you can learn a lot online, visiting conferences will ensure you get in touch with tech, trends and ideas you never thought of. Speaking to others in your field can be extremely valuable when you want to learn. Okay, you can find answers to all your questions online, but offline is where you learn which questions to ask. Okay, let's talk about coding. I have been writing code since the early 80s of the last century. Yes, that's 4 decades. And yes, that is a long time. But hey, I love to write code. I enjoy every hour I get to spend inside my IDE. Although some of the actual minutes are not so much fun, but okay. As a CTO, you really should know how to code. How can you lead a team of dedicated developers if you don't know what struggles they deal with every day? Okay, you cannot be expected to work on the codebase daily. You still need to know what is happening and occasionally contribute. It's very insightful to work on a product, make a pull request and have your teammates critique your work. You do not have to be a rock star or to speed on the very latest patterns and practices. If you still work in COBOL, you might consider taking a refresher course. Hey, code as much as you can. Don't let it get in the way of everything you need to do, but please code. You need it. The team needs it. Phew! After all that, it's clear that being a CTO is no small feat. It's a balancing act of technical prowess, leadership skills and strategic vision. From leading a team of developers to constantly improving the technology infrastructure, a CTO is crucial in any successful company. So if you're ever feeling overwhelmed by your responsibilities, or think if your CTO is a bit of a tool, remember a CTO is not just a chief technical officer. They are a champion of technological omnipotence. That sounds way cooler anyway. This video was the first in a series of videos where I will go deeper into all the different responsibilities and how to handle them. So please remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any new episodes that come out. Until then, I hope you learned something about being a CTO and I hope to see you next time.